The views expressed in this episode may, or may not, represent the perspectives and beliefs of the author and presenter of this work. This work is intended in the spirit of exploratory musings and is meant for entertainment, enlightenment, or offense by the viewer as the viewer sees fit or has need. Viewer discretion may be advised.
I was waiting in line at the grocery store the other night. Family necessities had routed me there on my way home from work. Tired from the day's stresses and labor, I stood waiting along with many others, foot-weary and careworn like me. An old woman fumbled with her coin purse at the register. English was not her comfortable language, and she struggled through the transaction. Standing between the woman and me was another man, a working-class schlub like myself, in scuffed work boots, with thickly calloused hands. He shifted impatiently from one foot to the other, mumbling irritably and stabbing the old woman with an ever-sharpening glare of ire. We were all anxious to get home, and the old woman was very slow. Nevertheless, this man seemed to take personal exception to the woman's bumbling. Sensing the growing tension, the old woman grew flustered, struggled with counting out her change, and eyed the man with visible fear. Hands visibly trembling, the coin purse suddenly slipped through her thin fingers and scattered its shiny contents all across the linoleum floor. "Jesus Christ!" the man exclaimed. "Go back to your peeping country, you old cow," he slashed her verbally. The rest of us, shocked at his hostility, stooped to help the poor woman gather her change, while the angry man stood, unmoved by her plight. We were all very uncomfortable. A short time later, I was out in the parking lot, still rattled by the encounter, when I heard a loud pickup truck roar to life. It was large, lifted on tall suspension, turbo diesel engine whining and belching smoke. At the wheel was the hostile man from the checkout line, looking like a small, scared boy inside the huge truck. He peeled out of the parking lot with a large American flag rippling from the back bed of his loud, oversized truck, the stripes beginning to tatter, symbolic hardiness and valor parting from purity. I took pause. Anymore, I've started noticing how the American flag is being flown in new ways by some people. Once a symbol of a unified nation, the flag seems to have been reappropriated into a symbol of angry division by some close-minded individuals. It seems too often anymore it's being reframed as it whips defiantly from the back beds of oversized pickup trucks and rustic SUVs as a symbol of narrow populist exclusiveness. The national banner, in the hands of this group of frustrated, largely working-class middle-aged white men and their angry sons, has reframed our national symbol into one that could be read as an emblem of a defeated people, battling to reclaim what they imagined was once theirs. What the Confederate flag had been in past decades among rural Southerners, memorializing the fantasy of a genteel Southern culture, seems now to have been transferred over to the American flag among this new, angry group. It's a strange and disquieting transformation, and truly offensive. The brandishing of this symbol of unity in the context of this repurposing speaks to an exclusivity characterized by a sentiment that might be expressed in rough terms of, "This is the symbol of our country for people like us, not people like you. Go home to the place where your kind came from." Frankly, I am offended by the way this symbol of unity has been corrupted from a beacon of hope to the world to an emblem of thinly veiled animosity towards others. Does not the Statue of Liberty, tantamount with the flag, and physically surrounded by such flags, not bear the inscription, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore"? This is the outlook that built this country, and the welcoming that brought those eager people from afar that did much of the work to carve this nation into the progressive powerhouse that it has been. The United States is a nation built by immigrants for the benefit of all. This attitude of inclusion is the spirit which built a rugged frontier nation into a leading nation of the world by including and incorporating all to contribute, celebrate, and defend the principles that make life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in this land possible. In this vein, how can we allow an angry minority of frightened, backwards men to hijack the meaning of our sacred national banner from its intended symbolic value to one that is in direct opposition to the spirit of inclusion on which this country was founded and built? We cannot let them soil our flag and its meaning with those staining fingerprints of hate and destructiveness. We must reclaim our symbol and the true spirit of American patriotism from this dark, downward spiral. It is time that we reassert our national banner in the true spirit in which it was intended, as a blanket of welcoming and shelter to those seeking refuge from oppression, as an emblem of upholding justice and fairness to all, as a symbol promoting the upholding of humanity's unalienable rights in the eyes of the Creator. This flag is intended to inspire and uplift humanity to its higher potential, what we can be, not what we are, or the many mistakes that have been. This nation, symbolized by this flag, is a land of aspiration which uplifts all in unity, those who dedicate themselves to the hard work of its progressive principles. Let the flag be a banner for those aspirations of strength through unity, rather than lapsing into a blind behind which cowards hide their true base intentions. The choice is ours. I fly the flag outside my home every day, and in doing so, endeavor to epitomize the spirit which I believe this banner represents, by being the citizen and neighbor who embraces others through inclusion, service, and a view of who we can be, working together towards a future that benefits all, regardless of where we came from. The flag, in my eyes, is about who we collectively strive to become. This is what the Star-Spangled Banner represents to me. How about you?